Welcome to the Insurance Agents and Brokers Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the audio version of Coverage Corner. Coverage Corner is a monthly column in IA&B's primary agent magazine. The April 2026 column is entitled The War Exclusion Revisited: Cyber Warfare by Cathy Trischan. A war exclusion has been in commercial property and general liability policies for as long as most insurance practitioners can remember. An early version of the war exclusion in the Insurance Services Office, or ISO, Commercial General Liability Coverage Form, or CGL, applied only to liability assumed under a contract or agreement. After September 11, 2001, the CGL's war exclusion was broadened by endorsement, and the broader exclusion was later incorporated into the December 2004 edition of the CGL, CG000111204. The language follows and is still in the current CGL. The insurance does not apply to bodily injury, property damage, and personal and advertising injury, however caused, arising, directly or indirectly, out of 1. War, including undeclared or civil war. 2. Warlike action by a military force, including action in hindering or defending against an actual or expected attack by any government, sovereign, or other authority using military personnel or other agents. Or 3. Insurrection, rebellion, revolution, usurp power, or action taken by governmental authority in hindering or defending against any of these. With respect to property coverage, ISO's causes of loss, Special Form, CP 10, 30, 09, 17, excludes loss or damage caused directly or indirectly by war or military action. The language describing what is excluded mirrors the CGL exclusion. This language has been in the ISO commercial property forms for even longer than it has been in the CGL, going as far back as the July 1988 edition of the form. What, though, of cyber warfare? Is this the type of warfare to which the war exclusion should apply? Consider a case involving Merck, a global pharmaceutical company with its headquarters in New Jersey. In June 2017, Merck suffered a significant loss due to NotPetya malware and claimed $1.4 billion in damages. This malware was used in a cyber attack by Russian agents against a Ukrainian accounting software company, and numerous businesses that used the software were affected. Approximately 40,000 Merck computers were infected, and Merck's production facilities and other operations were shut down. Merck's property insurance program included 26 policies and multiple insurers, with total limits of $1.75 billion in excess of a $150 million deductible. The coverage under Merck's property policies was broad, specifically stating that physical loss or damage shall include any destruction, distortion, or corruption of any computer data, coding, program, or software. Merck's insurers denied coverage, citing the exclusion for loss or damage caused by hostile or warlike action in time of peace or war. In May 2023, the Superior Court of New Jersey upheld an earlier decision that coverage applied to damages resulting from NotPetya. The court ruled that the hostile or warlike action exclusion did not apply, stating, "The NotPetya attack is not sufficiently linked to a military action or objective, as it was a non-military cyber attack against an accounting software provider." The insurers did not demonstrate the exclusion applied under the circumstances of this case, namely, that this cyber attack was a hostile or warlike action as contemplated under the exclusion. The Merck court went on to comment that Merck's insurers were aware of cyber attacks of various forms and, in spite of this, did nothing to change the language of the war exclusion that had been in use for years. In an attempt to clarify whether war exclusions apply to cyber warfare, Lloyd's, in 2021, introduced 4 model war exclusions to specifically address whether coverage applies to cyber warfare. In 2026, ISO addressed the issue in its commercial property and CGL programs. ISO recently introduced CP 99, 15, 06, 26, Exclusion, War and Military Action for use in its property program. In the endorsement, a sentence addressing cyber warfare is added to the War and Military Action exclusion. This exclusion applies regardless of the means used in any of the above in paragraphs 1 through 3, including, but not limited to, cyber means. This same sentence is added to the war exclusion in the CGL through the use of endorsement CG00, 70, 01, 26. Exclusion, war. These endorsements, coupled with the cyber incident exclusions frequently added to commercial property and CGL policies, make it clear that no coverage will apply in the event of cyber warfare. It is possible that some coverage may apply under a cyber policy, but those forms vary widely. The scope of coverage and the language of the war exclusion in cyber forms must be carefully reviewed. Till next time. Written by Cathy Trischan, CPCU, CRM, CIC, ARM, AU, AAI, CRIS, MLIS. TRIP is IA&B's Commercial Lines Education Consultant. She works with our CIC and CISR programs, as well as our live CE webinars. Catch her at one of our upcoming courses at iabforme.com/education.
Insurance Agents and Brokers is the premier resource and champion for independent insurance agencies in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For more information, visit iabforme.com.